So I just come out from NAPTIP now, and I did check through Twitter. Now I see say the National Broadcasting Commission have barred Nigerian radio and television station from airing the trending song "Tell Your Papa" by veteran rapper Idris Abdukareem. I rush go Idris Abdukareem page, and I see say NBC send a message say they don't ban the song. This song is just released a few days ago, where it says "Sheyi, tell your papa."
Now so Rattles tell me say anything wey D1 put hand, he must spoil. Because I don't suffer. Because Nedu decided to step down from a podcast that he created, so that they don't go bring down all these the husband material, all those other people, so that the platform can still be running as it is supposed to. They say D1, if D1 enters something, they spoil. Now, Idris Abdukareem go put very dark man name for inside song federal government. Government banner.
Hello guys, let me use 30 seconds to explain the whole scenario and then you'll be back to the video, right? So the National Broadcasting Commission placed a ban on Abdukareem's song that "Tell Your Papa" that Sheyi, they're telling Sheyi Tinubu to tell his father about how Nigerians are suffering, which I don't see anything wrong with the song, but the NBC has placed a ban on it. And many people have started reacting to it. Even VDM even said, they banned the song, he should come, Abdukareem should come and let them create another music, let them do a remix of that particular music, and this one is going to be a banger. And many Nigerians have come out to say whether they ban the song on TVs and radio, because the ban was basically no radio station or no TV should air the music, right? Should play the music. They said even if they ban it on their radio station, who even watch radio, who even listen to radio or watch TVs anymore, right? So they're going to listen to it on their device, on their phone, on their laptop and everything. So tell me what you think about this. Was this ban necessary? And again, is this ban a direct threat to the Nigerian democracy? I would like you to comment below what you think about this ban. Now continue watching the video, but don't forget to subscribe to this channel.
The point is that free speech is a fundamental principle in democratic societies and is protected by constitutional legal frameworks in Nigeria. So in that context, is there legal justification for the ban?
So I just come out from NAPTIP now, and I did check through Twitter. Now I see say the National Broadcasting Commission have barred Nigerian radio and television station from airing the trending song "Tell Your Papa" by veteran rapper Idris Abdukareem. I rush go Idris Abdukareem page, and I see say NBC send a message say they don't ban the song. This song is just released a few days ago, where it says "Sheyi, tell your papa say country hard. Tell your papa say people they buy." So you people don't want to hear it on the station, and I know say that true. Say the country know hard. Say people know they buy, and this is what we are going to do now. That first this thing. First of all, we don't even need radio. How many people they hear radio and they watch TV? That's by the way. We are going to take it over by social media. Dear Idris Abdukareem, you are going to shoot another video. This time we will sponsor it, and I go inside the video. We go find person where resemble Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Since we know if you get the real president, we go find who resemble the president. We go sit down for the video. We go do the video remix. We go dance for inside our video. Tell your papa part 2. Then we go highlight other problems. That is to say, these people listen to what is going on in Nigeria, but they don't want to act. Then when you talk, they want to control the media so that you don't get the voice, and this voice don't exceed what they want it to exceed. Well, what do you expect? Presidents come out, go France. You go France. French president come out from France, go Egypt. That means the French president don't even send you. I just see for Rufai page, Rufai for Arise page for Twitter. A boss laugh. Imagine Nigerian president enter country, the president of the country no even feel acknowledged. He carry himself to go Egypt. Sheyi, tell your papa. Now real truth be that. Nobody they fear anybody. The country is hard. Business are crumbling. A lot of people are suffering. People are crying. People they buy. Even though you don't want to do anything, do security for us. I see women for Oregun, what they call that place yesterday. See them. They chant yesterday. They cry for insecurity. Even the North, they get Fulani herdsmen issues. A lot of places where they buy people. Let me not say Fulani herdsmen, because there are a lot of good Fulani people and there are a lot of herdsmen that are good. Let me say they're having a lot of terrorist issues that may be disguising as Fulani herdsmen. Do you understand? Because like I said, some of these people say some innocent one day, but we don't generalize them, which is a problem. So dear Idris Abdukareem, listen to me, my brother. You're going to shoot that music again, and this time we'll post it on social media. I will also post it on my page, because I'll be appearing on that video. Prepare yourself. If you're there, Abuja, I beg, let me know more. Come, Sheyi, tell your papa, country hard. Tell your papa everything where Idris Abdukareem say me, they tell him, because the country is hard. And anybody that have a problem with that song at the NBC as whatsoever, me gonna also send the message to them. Say country hard. Puppets. Y'all better don't play, else you're gonna learn, and y'all will learn the hard way. This is the generation that will make the country better, and the sooner you all know, the better. And for those youths where they use as tools to counter the real voice of the Nigerians. May God let this country happen to you and your family. You would understand. They give you people small money to come and do a counter narrative. All of now. Yes. For how much they give you? When I go learn, I will learn the hard way. Don't play.
Now, so Rattles tell me, say, anything where D1 put hand, he must spoil. Because, I don't suffer. Because Nedu decided to step down from a podcast that he created. So that they don't go bring down all these, the husband material, all those other people. So that the platform can still be running as it is supposed to. They say D1, if D1 enters something, they spoil. Now, Idris Abdukareem go put very dark man name for inside song. Federal government. Government banner. Who get bad luck? For Idris Abdukareem, man, as he put very dark man, this thing go there everywhere. Then come out the thing from come out the thing. He never made $2 for YouTube. God forgive me. Everywhere good, but people do. Shalom. Rattles can make you, if you don't know yourself, they go give you another identity. See bad luck here, they talk me with.
Well, we asked the National Broadcasting Commission to send someone to come on the programme tonight to tell us more about why they banned the song, but they said that no one was available. So let's dive right into it. And with me tonight are our guest commentators. Samson Itodo is the Executive Director of Yerga Africa, a civil society group dedicated to the promotion of democratic governance. Dr. Taufeeq Rahimi is a development expert and business economist and policy analyst. And Abakaka is a public policy analyst and also a development expert, and he joins us from our off-site studio. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Let me come to you first, Samson Itodo. Is this ban, in your assessment of Idris Abdukareem's song, Tell Your Papa, a violation of free speech? I mean, the lyrics urged President Tinubu's son Sheyi to tell his father that people in Nigeria are dying because of economic hardship and insecurity.
Well, thanks, Charles. I think that the ban by the NBC is expected because this is not the first time that the NBC is acting in this manner. Well, one would ask the question about the legal justification for this. And it is very clear that citizens have the right to express their views. And what Idris Abdukareem did was to amplify the concerns and the pain that Nigerians are experiencing. There's absolutely nothing he said in that song that it's not a reflection of our present reality. And all he has just done is to use music, because you use music to tell a story. You use music to communicate, your views. And it's a form of expression. And what he did was to use that form of expression, to express the concerns that Nigerians have. I dare say, Charles, I don't ask you, what is it that Idris said that many people have not said? The fact that he put it in form of music, it's really unwarranted action on the part of the NBC, because first, it doesn't compromise national security in any way. There's no obscenity in any way. There's no hate speech in any way. It's, again, when he released Jaga Jaga under Obasanjo's regime, it was the same response from the state. But I thought that the state would be more concerned with responding with some of the actions it is taking to cushion the effect of some of the economic policies that this administration has introduced, but not to ban the song. Well, thank God for the democratization of information platforms. And you can ban the song, but you can't ban it on the hearts of Nigerians. You can ban the song, but you cannot ban the pain that Nigerians currently face. So I think it's just a reflection of the reality and nothing short of that.
Thank you very much indeed, Samson. Let me come to you, Dr. Taufeeq Rahimi. If Nigeria is a proper democratic country, you are a member of the APC, the ruling party, and of course the government goes out of its way to say that, insist that it is a democracy and that it is keeping to the tenets of a democratic society. If it is, why can't an artist record a song that is critical of the president and which for many people accurately reflects, as Samson was saying there, what is happening in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you, Charles, and good evening to our audience everywhere across the globe. It's quite correct that we all enjoy, or we are guaranteed freedom of expression, freedom of speech within the Constitution of Nigeria as a democratic nation. However, we must also underline the fact that this freedom of speech is not must be oriented within the context of sanity. The NBC that has slammed a ban on Idris Abdukareem song has quoted a violation, I think part of the question we need to ask is, did NBC, I'm not representing NBC here in any way, but as an analyst, my opinion would be that let us dip below the surface to look at the issues that they have raised. They have said that this song has contravened a section of the broadcasting code, and the code they cited is section 3.1.8. Has anybody, including the press, like you, Charles, have you tried to look at what does that section provide for?
As a matter of fact, we have.
Good. And the issue is that do we have to now interpret what that section says? Because when we say we have freedom, this freedom must be oriented to bring sanity to this country. Of course, he has complained. He has put it in music, just like he has said. He will not be the first to sing song, but I believe the purpose of that song should be to call the attention of the president to what all of us Nigeria have been complaining. But to begin to mention name, it's like an attack on the personality of even Sheyi Tinubu, as I could say. So I want to believe that while the freedom of expression is good, every organization is guided, every practitioner within a given profession is guided by code. Like in the construction industry, you have building code. You won't say because you have freedom of expression, freedom of speech, or freedom to do things, you will not be guided by that. In finance sector, you have code. So NBC has code. So we should ask, are these artists, are they even aware of the code that guide their operations? So if they are aware, they should be able to live within that. I think we should also separate emotion from the criticality of certain things that can bring the incitement among the people. While the president will continue to do what he has asked that he will do based on the Renew Hope agenda, we need also to point out objectively areas that need improvement. This music should also be used to even identify areas that has been done well in order for us to have a balance.
Well, I mean, the point really here is the issue of the freedom of expression. We sit in television studios, people come in, they criticize the government. Samson made the point that what is the difference because it was put in music form. I mean, people sit here, the opposition criticizes the government, they talk about the policies that are not working, people complain, people protest, people go out onto the streets. But let me come to you, Abdukareem. NBC said the song violated section 318 of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code. It said it was inappropriate and fell short of public decency standards. It's not the first time that Mr. Abdukareem has fallen foul of the government. In 2004, his song Nigeria Jaga Jaga was also banned. I guess the question is whether the broadcasting code goes against the Constitution of Nigeria, which guarantees freedom of speech and expression, and whether this is a form of dictatorial censorship which violates the Constitution and which essentially misinterprets and misapplies the law.
Well, thank you, Mr. Charles, for having me again. You see, we are practicing a democratic system of government, and therefore free speech and free expressions are protected by the Constitution. And if anybody offers himself to lead either a state, local government, or the federal government, you know, there are things that come with the territory. And therefore, you know, under the Constitution, you know, citizens are, you know, expected to have free speech, even if the government doesn't want it. This is what democracy entails. And this issue of banning a song, I don't even see what's the really big deal about it, because this is just the same thing Nigerians are talking about every day, but, you know, it came in a, as my friend has said, in the form of a music. And therefore, you know, if you remember, there was a time the president himself said that we should, you know, Nigerians should not pity him. He looked for the job, he applied for the job, and he got the job. Therefore, you know, criticisms comes with the territory, and that should be expected and respected by NBC and others. Actually, if the president can say that, and overzealous, you know, surrogates of the president will go this far to ban this song. Actually, the song now is trending seriously, and Abdukareem has become more popular than before, and therefore free speech should be respected at all times.
Okay, thank you for that. And I think you made an important point, which I wanted to sort of emphasize and back up, because from what we're hearing, the song is like the one that was banned in 2004. This one is becoming a huge underground hit. And it's getting a sort of perverse promotion because of the ban, which rather defeats the whole point of what the government is trying to do. And let me come to you, Samson Itodo, because you represent a very prominent civil society group. It's well known beyond Nigeria, across Africa, and indeed in many parts of the world. I mean, I wonder what your group would do in these circumstances. Do you expect that either you or some of your colleagues in the civil society space will challenge this in court?
Well, Charles, we have said it uncountable times that what we are experiencing are levels of democratic erosion. And we will continue to advocate that democratic principles need to be respected. You cannot have a constitutional democracy without Democrats. It's really crucial that we ponder deeply on this. And as civil society will continue to speak, this ban, it's an assault on the rights of Idris Abdukareem. And I know that there are conversations about strategic litigation to contest this in court because, quite frankly, again, there are conditions where you derogate from certain rights, and you clearly mentioned this previously. And I don't think, based on the circumstances and the facts of this particular case, and I don't think that this particular song, defies those principles established by the Constitution. And I think that we need to be careful as a country on how, we claim to be practicing this democracy. If you look at these elements of fragility, they are in different parts of the country. This is fueling discontent, because how do you silence a musician who has done nothing but amplify, the concerns of citizens? And all he has said is the same president's son who said this is the best president in Nigeria's history. He's asked that same son of the president to do what's to convey the message to the president in case the president is not listening. What I expect the states to do is to say, acknowledge the fact that the contents of this particular song are a reflection, it's a feedback that citizens are providing. All Idris have done is just amplify that cause. Again, then you make the point, you can ban the song for as much as you want, but you cannot ban the experiences that Nigerians are going through.
But let me ask you this, Samson, because, and I want to stay with you for a minute, because we know that you are in very much in the public space, and the people see you as a sort of representative, an unacknowledged, if you like, representative of the people. I think the point that Dr. Raimi was raising was this issue of the fundamental principle of freedom of speech and the right of people in a democratic society to express themselves freely without government restriction, but matched against the fact that freedom of speech isn't absolute, and there are restrictions against, I think you pointed that out earlier, hate speech, defamation, national security, etc. And there is the broadcasting code, and there are grey areas. And so the question is, how knotty a problem is that in terms of the way that people like the NBC interpret it?
I think it needs to be clear. See, there's a reason why you have said there are three rights, fundamental rights that are critical and central to a democracy. First is the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression, and the freedom of association. If you attack these three rights, or even one of them, what you get is a shrinking civic space. And that's the point that we have made consistently, that the civic space is shrinking. The Constitution is clear that yes, you exist within a community, and that community is bound by laws, that these rights are not absolute. The state can derogate those rights based on three conditions. If it contravenes or undermines national security, if it's hate speech, and then the third condition, that if it's defamation.
Yeah, obscenity as well.
None of this, based on my examination, and perhaps also for many people, that none of the content of this, meets this criteria or calls for derogation. That's my interpretation, and we can contest this in court, because there is nothing he has said that is not true. Are you talking about impunity? There's impunity. In fact, I would say the contents of this song are really moderate, because we have seen worse situation within the Nigerian context. He's talked about corruption. Can we say there is no corruption in the country? He's mentioned weak institutions. He may not have used polished language like some of us will do, but what he has done is to use the language that the average man on the street understands. And so I don't think that, the decision taken by the NBC, it's in line and in tandem with the Constitution. And this is something that we can contest, because the NBC code is subservient to the Constitution.
Indeed.
Once the Constitution has guaranteed a right, any other law that runs contrary to the provisions of the Constitution, to the extent of its existence, is null and void. And that's why the supremacy of the Constitution is guaranteed under Section 1 sub 3, of the Constitution. And so these are the issues, and we just need to acknowledge the fact that in this instant case, this is a clear violation of Idris's right of speech.
And on that note, let us rest this discussion for now, but I'm sure it is one that will rise again in the days to come, and possibly weeks and so on. And I do hope that someone goes to challenge it in court, because the issue, as you mentioned, Samson, of freedom of speech is absolutely essential, that it is protected in a democracy. And you're watching Arise Prime Time. Plenty more still ahead as we continue our chat with our guest commentators, getting their take on all the key developments here in Nigeria. Stay with us.